Welcome back. The Chief Minister congratulated UK MP David Lidington, who's been reappointed Minister for Europe in the newly elected Conservative government. Fabian Picardo said he looks forward to working with him on all matters related to Gibraltar and the ROC's continuing EU membership. For Mr. Picardo, the Minister for Europe is a key post, and he says the relationships built up by Mr. Lidington will yield real benefits to the UK in the run-up to the in-out referendum. On Thursday, a local man in his 20s lost his life as a result of a traffic accident on Devil's Tower Road. The man was identified as 24-year-old Jaden Lima. A police statement said he had been travelling west on his Yamaha X-Max motorcycle when he collided into the Central Reservation. He was rushed to hospital at lunchtime, but the injuries sustained proved fatal. The police is appealing to anyone who may have witnessed the accident to contact them on 200 72500. Equality Rights Group has recognised members of the media, the unions and animal rights in its Independent Civil Society Awards. The awards were started 3 years ago and aim to highlight the importance of independent thinking and kindness in building democracy and identity locally.
First of all, I want to thank you all for being here this morning.
We're still in the very early stages of building a civilian society. That was the pretext for this awards ceremony organised by the Equality Rights Group at the Garrison Library.
The thinking behind them is to reward and bring recognition to a lot of people who are working in Gibraltar, in civil society organisations. Some of them recognised and some of them totally unrecognised. And as a group who's struggled for many years to be recognised and to have our own voices listened to, we're very conscious and we're very sensitive to that. We think it's really important for any democracy for civil society to be strong.
There were 4 awards for members of the local media.
I wanted to probe people and hold them to account, to a very personal sort of level, and it has been difficult at times.
In honour of the 40th anniversary year of the founding of Panorama by Joe Garcia.
Well, we are indeed very, very grateful for the initiative taken in highlighting the work done by the press, which is not often the case. People don't seem to recognise that we're working sometimes 24 hours a day to bring whatever we bring out in our own newspaper or broadcasting.
Through not only informing, but also engendering open social discourse and debate. Stephen.
It's not about me. In fact, he's put my name on there. I asked him not to. It's all about the team. It's all about the teamwork that there is, which is very important. Without teamwork, no news organisation, would be the press or in broadcasting, would function. It's the reporters are the ones that are there, perhaps in terms of broadcasting, taking the limelight. They're there doing the pieces to camera, doing the interviews, and everybody looks at them. But there's a huge team behind them.
The quality and calibre of their contributions play day by day in the life of the community. Brian?
Reporting on the courts, reporting on Parliament, reporting on the institutions of the democracy, the information that is so vital to everybody to have an informed decision on what's happening in their community. It's a difficult job to do for the journalists. It's delivering accurate, fair, balanced copy. Places us in a very peculiar position where we face, all sorts of stresses and pressures that only us in the media, I think, would really understand.
Michael Neto and the Gibraltar Street Cat Society were also recognised.
People want to control public opinion, and it's very important that individuals in a society as small as Gibraltar dare to challenge those that control the strings of power.
Anita Hutchinson-Smith.
We are as yet a fledgling group, still awaiting our charitable status, But what we have achieved in the few short months since our founder and chairman, Susan Wink-Samper, who unfortunately couldn't be here today, began this campaign to gather us together, to inform, educate and to act to save Gibraltar streetcars is nothing short of phenomenal.
The focus for the Equality Rights Group now turns to the International Day Against Homophobia, which they celebrate tomorrow.
And the chairman of Equality Rights Group, Felix Alvarez, has called for the creation of a press complaints body that would scrutinise the local information media. He made the appeal during an event Thursday morning to mark the International Day Against Homophobia.
On the one hand, I think we don't pay enough attention to the press as such, and I think that's really, really important if we want to have a strong civil society and a real democracy in Gibraltar. So that, to start with, is my suggestion that we ought to have some kind of a press awards scheme in Gibraltar every year. That's one side. But the other side of it is that the press are naturally, because of their position, because of their importance, are subject to scrutiny and criticism. And I think for that we need a press complaints entity of some sort, which I haven't elaborated a great deal on because I think it's something that needs to be discussed with a range of people who have a stake on the issues. But I think it's about time that we did set up some kind of a press complaints body which takes in both the published and broadcast media.
In court this week, a local man was charged with indecent assault and rape of a girl under the age of 16. 27-year-old Daryl Martinez of George Jager House, Glasses Estate, faces 7 counts on separate occasions. He's pleaded not guilty to all the charges and has been bailed out to appear at the Supreme Court on the 23rd of July. Also this week, 29-year-old Colin Fisher had a charge of encouraging a pornographic performance involving children withdrawn. The British national and former employee of King's Bowl had pleaded not guilty to using a pseudonym while online and then encouraging another to participate in a pornographic performance involving children. Colin Fisher will be appearing again at the Supreme Court on the 30th of June. Legislation for the new Mental Health Act is expected in the next few weeks, according to Health Minister John Cortes. At the launch of the Mental Health Awareness Week, the government praised the communication between agencies and departments and volunteers and organisations such as the Clubhouse Gibraltar.
1 in 4 people will suffer from mental health issues at some point in their lives, and it could be any one of us. The message being promoted as part of the Awareness Week this year is that people suffering from these issues should be allowed the dignity to break free from the stigma attached by society.
Mental illness should not be stigmatized. It's part of our mental health is very important, and people should not feel ashamed. There is a help at hand. Things can improve, and they have improved a lot. And we have established, the Clubhouse has established links with all relevant agencies that come across people, and that is an ongoing process to continue to develop. So the individual might find it a bit of a labyrinth to know where to go to. But if we can sort of have a one-stop shop so we can signpost them in the right direction, it can take away a lot of the hard work.
This week saw the opening of an exhibition commemorating the evacuation of civilians from Gibraltar during the Second World War. Honouring a Generation features around 500 photos as well as memorabilia from the time, including a full 1940s kitchen, recorded interviews with evacuees, and an interactive computer display featuring searchable documents from the National Archives. Cristina Cortés spoke to some of the evacuees.
All I can say is that we were quite happy. We had everything we wanted, except, clothes or anything. As you know, we had to have coupons. And that's it, because normally, what can I say?
I left Madeira when I was 9 years old, a student. And 64 years later, I went back as mayor of Gibraltar between Madeira and Gibraltar. So really, to live as a student and go back as mayor, that's quite an event in my life. I'm 78 now, and things like that are worth a lot.
I stayed for 4 years in the same hotel in Kensington,
and I remember a lot of things. We had hard times there. We weren't treated badly, but we were refugees instead of evacuees, you know. So I was longing to come back to Gibraltar, and since then, this has been my home. So
I went over to Jamaica, right? I'm 84 years old, so that's why I'm here. Apart from that, I can tell you a lot of things, but I was a nipper, a little one, playing with the things and all that, and I can't remember anything in Jamaica.
I was 13 when I was evacuated, first to Morocco, and we went to Morocco, and in Morocco it was either in Casablanca, Rabat or Fez, and the arrangements were that coaches would wait for us and they would take us to camps. But my father said I had my mother, and we were 5 children plus my mother. That's 6 of us.
It reminds me most the statue that we've got now, because it's exactly how we went over. My mother, my brother, my grandmother, and me holding her coat. Exactly the same as the statue. But we could do it all over again, we would do it all over again, believe me.
Duran Duran and Kings of Leon will be headlining this year's Gibraltar Music Festival. A number of international and local acts were announced this week, with the festival expected to feature around 50 acts over 2 days in September.
The announcement of the biggest lineup to date has been eagerly awaited, with the names announced live this morning on Radio Gibraltar. Music fans now know who'll be headlining Saturday and Sunday respectively. Pop icons Duran Duran and rockers Kings of Leon.
This year obviously we've got 2 headlines. We've got Duran Duran on the Saturday night and Kings of Leon on the Sunday. Kings of Leon, we've got a UK exclusive, which is an amazing achievement for us, and apart from that we're going to have a real spread of other types of music. Lots yet to be announced, but we're going to have a stopper, a Spanish act who are absolutely fabulous. Tom Odell, The Feeling, Ray Morris is a very exciting young act just emerging, and as I said, and we've got Third World who are a reggae act, and lots more to announce.
How many acts have been announced so far, and how many are you expecting to have in total?
We will have probably just under 50 acts, so we've really only got about less than a third of the bill announced at this stage.
4 local acts have also been announced so far. Reach, Strange Brew, Paddy Taylor and Tim Garcia featuring After Hours. With 20 hours of music over 2 days, this year's festival is once again set to be a highlight of events-led tourism in Gibraltar.
We're going to try and bring many more acts. The general cost is lowered because we have all the things set up. But not only that, it's going to give a brilliant feel of a festival. We want to attract people from abroad and UK or Spain, wherever they come from, to stay the night. And that for us has a lot of benefit. So this is great to have a festival which we've worked on for 1 day, now we're extending it into 2 days.
Well, the benefits are that there's a lot of work goes into putting together an event for 1 day, and the relative increase in work to spread that to 2 is not so much. In terms of logistics, obviously it's going to be a real challenge. We're going to have double the artists, we're going to have double the artist movements, flights, contracts, booking. I mean, there is a lot more work to do. I think it's going to be a fantastic weekend though, so really looking forward to it.
Last year's festival sold out with an audience of 11,000, 1,400 of whom came to Gibraltar specially for the occasion. This year, the organisers are aiming to increase the Victoria Stadium's capacity to 15,000. Tickets go on sale tomorrow, with single tickets priced at £65, while weekend passes cost £79. Single VIP tickets cost £250 and VIP weekend passes £300. They'll be available from various local outlets, with more details available online.
And that's all for News Review. For more, you can head over to our website, gbc.gi, and you can follow our regular updates on our Twitter and Facebook pages as well. Thank you very much for watching. From the team, good night.